Hello. So at the beginning of each year, I like to put out a predictions piece in Money Week and on this channel. And this year, my Bitcoin forecast, at the time Bitcoin was trading around $29,000, was that it goes north of $50,000, but that 2021 also sees one of Bitcoin's triennial monster 50% plus corrections. Now, I get a lot of predictions wrong, but that one is one that I got right. Now, the first target, $50,000, was hit by February, and the second, the triennial monster 50% plus correction, by May. So the question is, what's next? And such is the speed at which this space moves. What gold does in a decade, Bitcoin does in a couple of months. And when I started out as an investor, people said gold was volatile. It looks positively docile in comparison. But where is Bitcoin now in the grand scheme of things? And I've observed that the digital asset seems to go through four obvious phases in a cycle, in a trading cycle. Firstly, it creeps up quietly, and few outside of the bubble of ardent Bitcoiners take notice, and we'll call that the quiet accumulation phase. Two, those quiet steps get rather noisy as the price starts moving up quickly and there's a rush to buy. The media's all over it. There's a huge row about whether Bitcoin's in a bubble or not. I get invited onto the BBC to talk about it, and Bitcoin has one of its blow-off tops. Three, we get a monster correction and Bitcoin loses over 50% of its value, and no coiners all go on the telly and declare that they were right, ignoring the fact that the price to which Bitcoin corrected is several hundred% above where the quiet accumulation phase began. And earlier in Bitcoin's evolution, these corrections could be over 90%. Now they've scaled back to more like 60%. And then fourthly, Bitcoin goes into a period of range trading, consolidating the gains of the previous bull market. This is a period of relative quiet, at least by Bitcoin standards. There are rallies that get many excited, but they prove to be false dawns. And investors get frustrated by the grinding action. The media loses interest, and many forget about Bitcoin altogether, and we gradually drift into another quiet accumulation phase. So let's give those phases some titles. Whoops. There's the quiet accumulation, the frenzy and blow off top, the monster correction, and the frustrating consolidation. Now let's consider Bitcoin's price action over the last few years in the context of that cycle that I've just described. And we'll start with the bubble that ended at the end of 2017 with the frenzy and blow off top and Bitcoin at $20,000. There was a monster correction that followed. The price collapsed 85% to the $3,000 area, and then we were in the frustrating consolidation. Now, the key thing to note about frustrating consolidations is that they are frustrating. Forget the rule of law. This is the rule of Sod's law. Whatever outcome is the most frustrating will be the outcome, chief among them being the fact that this period of frustrating consolidation will go on for much longer than anyone really wants, especially those hoping for fast gains. In this instance, the frustrating consolidation lasted almost 2 years, from early 2018 with Bitcoin around $5,500 through to March 2020 with Bitcoin at $3,000. There were rallies along the way. At one point, Bitcoin went to $13,000, but it also went as low as $3,000 twice. We got quiet accumulation phases, the months around the turn of 2019 with Bitcoin around $3,000, and then a textbook quiet accumulation amidst the corona panic of spring 2020 from March through to July. And in around October, we transitioned from quiet accumulation to frenzy and blow off top. That's when Bitcoin launched, and $64,000 was the peak of the blow off. And then in April this year, our monster correction kicked in and the price more than halved. And guess where we are now? Yep, the frustrating consolidation. We've seen Bitcoin retest the $29,000 to $30,000 area several times. There seemed to be some support there. Those no-coiners who declared that it was a bubble are all congratulating themselves, going, look, Bitcoin's had a 50% plus correction, they're saying, but they're also ignoring the fact that Bitcoin is bottoming at $30,000, which is 10 times higher than where it bottomed in the previous cycle. Now Bitcoin's had a bit of a rally to $50,000. It's looking good. The bears have gone quiet. The bulls are all saying we're going to $100,000. Heck, why not? It's going to $1 million. Remember the golden rule of frustrating consolidations. If it can frustrate, it will frustrate. The rule of sod is at play. And this rally to $50,000 might be the real deal. I suspect not, however. You have to own some Bitcoin. Its potential is too great not to have some exposure. The risk is not owning it. I've said that many times. But such is the nature of frustrating consolidations, I don't think we're going to the moon just yet. This is one of those times where I'll be glad to be wrong, but I rather suspect we have many more months of grind before the next quiet accumulation and frenzy and blow off top. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content, and I'll be back with another video very soon. In the meantime, cheerio.